No comment, Steve. No comment.
Hey, Will,
Yes, sir.
nobody got in touch with me. I say nobody got in touch with me about the cultural affairs meeting. Nobody's gotten in touch with us to tell us what the date was.
Oh man, it's I believe it's next week.
Okay,
I'll verify.
nobody has,
Are we missing one?
I'll verify now. Let me look at my phone and I'll tell you.
okay, so I can get the agenda ready.
Yeah, we need the agenda. I know these people translate the neighborhood veterans committee. Next week's the 27th. I'm pretty sure it's next week. I'll check now.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, we got Mark out there, so
We need one more.
The gentleman that was standing right here.
Miss Eric Brandon emailed me to it yesterday. He couldn't make it. All right, bye. Rudy told me he was coming. Don't. He did email. So really did confirm that he'll be coming. Let's give him a few minutes. And we have a.
camera's on. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's meeting, July 20th, Economic Development Committee. Let's take, it's 5:45. Let's call the meeting to order. 5:47, actually. And John, if you can take roll call.
George Alvarez,
Present.
Eddie Blanco.
These-
Rodolfo Blanco. Here. Eric Brand.
Pull your mic on, Mr. Secretary. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
No,
Pull
yeah,
it down
yeah,
to you.
There you go.
As long as it's green.
Now I'm on, I guess.
No, pull the mic down so that we can hear you. There you go. Thank you.
How often do I do this?
All right.
How often do I do this,
Hey.
you know, this?
Terrific.
Eric Brandon, no. Steve,
Yes, present.
Alex, no. Mark Gomez,
Present.
Jose Yano,
Present.
Jessica Medina, Romy Portuano Rimoy, no. Andrea, no. Neil Robinson,
Present.
Magali Rubio.
Here.
John Tingle here. Okay, so we got a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Moving on to the next item, order of business, deferrals, additions, and deletions. I'd like to make a motion to add this flyers in front of you. It's the, under new business, section E, Mayor's Gala Charity. We'll discuss that later. I'll make a motion to add that, please.
I'll second the motion.
I second.
Okay,
Oh.
we've got the first, Neil second. Any discussion regarding that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We add that to new business 7E. Thank you. Approve public comments. I believe there's no one here for public comments, and we're not taking them online, so we'll get through that. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. The minutes that we're looking at today are the May 18th minutes. There were no minutes for June as we did not have a quorum and establish a meeting. So hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at that over the last 2 months. And I believe there's one item that needs to be corrected. Magali?
Yes,
You have the
on item 7A, when the discussing of the budget took place, I always recuse myself when there is a vote for the Chamber of Commerce, as I'm part of it, and it's not noted in the minutes.
Okay, that's noted by our secretary.
Yeah,
Any
got it.
further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the minutes
Okay, we have
with the addition that Magali just stated.
I second that.
Okay, any discussion regarding the minutes, additional? All right, Neil made a motion, Steve second, with the noted correction. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Thank you. Moving on to number 6, old business. 6A is BTR and establishing a town business database. That's a very old business there. And Willie, can you give us an update on that? I know we made some progress and there were some changes with staff and kind of fell behind, but something that's I think important to us so we can meet with some of our business partners out here.
Thank you, Chairman. As you mentioned, there's been some staff changes with our building department, where we harness this information from. Elizabeth and I are working on the project. We have a new director for building now, and we're going to continue working on gathering information that they requested. But we do have direction, we do have the template set up. It's just a matter of putting the information down at this point.
I know it may be a little early to ask for like a possible due date, but is there anything that we can get like a soft date out there? Again,
I can check with Elizabeth's form and send you guys an update, maybe potential, we're in July now, maybe end of August, we can have a working document.
Okay.
That, and remember that we need your input as well, because there's some companies that we may have to research. They may not have a principal database, or they may have a partner that oversees the company. And the goal is to reach the principal of each company, so we have a direct communication to that company. So, yes, sir, we'll
good. Any discussion from our committee regarding that item? Seeing none, we'll move on to 6B, which is the business newsletter. Attached to the package was the newsletter assignments. In the past, we haven't all sent them in, including myself. I'll be part of that. Do we have a deadline for the next, for the articles, Willie?
We're going to need, so the next article is out in November. So we're looking at potential early October deadline for submission. And I too will send that email out to the committee members. I'll speak to Elizabeth, see when she needs them by. Same date, is aimed for October 1st.
Okay, so yes, sir, anything right now would be too premature.
Yes, sir.
Any
Are there
questions
any
regarding?
changes, Chairman, any changes need to be made on the assignments? Or any committee member who would like to change their assignments? I believe Mr. Castro may not continue in the committee. I'll follow up with the town clerk. I don't think he knows it. So we may have to reassign his assignment.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only one that I see, and then, maybe we
Well,
reach out, Mr. Castro's the only one that I see that
Brandon,
really
I
has
don't
not
know,
been attending.
I mean, Willie, I don't know how to put on the town of Miami Lakes business news. I think that assignment shouldn't be mine. Should be someone else's. Somebody that is part of the town,
Making application.
okay? Because am I gonna write in there?
Probably because you belong to the chamber. That's fine.
Well,
That's why.
the
Probably,
chamber-
probably.
well, probably because of the chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I could write something that we are, starting and we are getting stronger on that, but that's about the only news that,
Let me ask you, Willie, how long does this have to be? Because I think there were some guidelines before. Is it, send me the guidelines, because maybe I could add something.
We're looking at maybe a two-paragraph.
Oh, okay. Two paragraphs.
maximum.
Okay,
Yeah, so basically outline, unless you have somebody in particular that you're
Right,
sharing,
right.
a link that we can attach to the newsletter, and they can see it, right? But yeah, it's very, we're trying to keep people engaged. The more you write, it might not read. So-
right.
okay.
So I agree, really, maybe that's why we're like,
Right,
Yeah, we try to come up
Right.
with something.
right.
and that's something we can discuss.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like professionals, for instance. I don't see professionals in here. You have CPAs, you have attorneys, we have new people coming into town. We have
Exactly.
a variety of things that maybe we could spotlight or highlight or mention why professionals are coming to Miami Lakes.
Yes, sir.
So, thanks, Willie.
Mr. Chairman? Yeah, just one question. Do we have all the assignments in except one? I think you mentioned that we were all okay except one. I guess that was Alex's.
The question is, if everybody's been assigned something?
Yes, they've all been assigned,
Yeah.
but have all the people submitted there?
Uh,
I don't think so.
no.
No. So who are we missing? Maybe
Well,
beside
Doesn't
Alex?
have that much substance.
We need to have everybody submit them by, I guess in this case is August 1st, October 1st, I'm sorry.
Okay,
And,
so we're just extending it till
yeah,
October, so.
That's
trying
for
to
the
get ahead of it
September
today.
issue.
I believe we received only 3 last quarter, so that's why it was being published, but I can verify that number.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll wait to check.
And I'll send the guidelines again, so everybody's refreshed. We have new members here as well, so,
Okay.
and potentially there might be new members coming aboard soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any further discussion regarding the newsletter? Hearing none, we'll move on to old business C, which is the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce participation. In the past, we've discussed that a lot of us here have an interest in being actively engaged in the Greater Miami and obviously our local chamber, but the town had 9 if I remember correctly, 9 member positions, and there was events that came up. I know you were discussing that with the town, with the town officials to see, how we could participate as a chamber or as individuals within the chamber.
Yes, so many people expressed interest to be part of the members, and your information was given to Claire, so we're going to discuss it with the town manager and the town officials. So that decision has been made yet, it's going to be officially aboard, and I will get back to you on that information. But yes, everyone who was interested, I believe Steve was one of them, the information was sent, and George and
And Neil.
Rudy.
Neil was in.
Yeah, and Neil.
One, yeah, the,
I sent the email, the following members are interested in being part of the membership.
Yeah, my concern is just, we've joined 2 months ago or maybe
Yeah.
3. So the clock is ticking and we're not taking full advantage of it, at least from a.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
So-
Chair, may I add
Well,
also,
I'd be
the-
interested
Yes,
in
sir.
we need to
participating
check
too.
on when is the next monthly meeting that the chamber has, because they have it once a month,
Correct.
and we need to have some presence there. And, some of the elected officials certainly can attend,
Right.
but at least at least 2 or 3 of us from this committee ought to try to
Right.
go there, because that's where you get invested in working with the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, when you show up and participate. So,
I'd be willing to participate too.
oh, yes.
I'll go also.
Or-
I believe from what I read, they were still having them virtually, moving to a hybrid and then live by, I think it was by,
Right,
or
they
in
just-
person, September maybe, so.
Right, because they just started the year now. So June is like the first month, so they're getting going. That's what I know.
But if I hear anything, I'll send it to Willie so you can share with the committee.
Yes, sir, and I will follow up.
I would suggest that we reach out to the chamber and ask them to provide you the schedule of their upcoming meetings, monthly meetings, because, again, they usually have them once a month.
They do,
And so I'm sure in September, they're starting up, or August again,
right.
and.
And it's
we just
usually
need
a
to know-
breakfast.
And it also tells you the date of the meeting, the
Yeah.
time of the meeting, and so that any of us who are interested in attending, because it's usually done at lunchtime.
Or breakfast, yeah,
Or
one of the two,
breakfast, yeah.
right.
Mr. Chair, if I may make a comment on that, following up on Neil's comments, it'd be great if we could coordinate this ahead of time, the chamber attendance, and maybe even have a table that says Town of Miami Lakes. It doesn't have to be fancy, but just something
Yeah.
like a little thing printed, because we mentioned, 9 people, or we have 9 slots to go in. So I would assume the protocol would be identifying ourselves. Would we have to pay for that luncheon, or is that already covered with our membership? Do you know?
Some of the events are covered.
Right, some of the elements are covered.
I believe luncheons you have to pay. for
You have
that.
to pay,
So
right?
table, but,
The fee.
we could-
They've done one in-person event, which was at.
At Chella's, yep,
But they do have us officially listed as members.
yes, they do.
For the town.
Yes, they do.
What's missing right now, who are the members?
Okay, when do,
Four of you here have requested.
and when do you think that we may have that formalized?
I'm going to follow up tomorrow.
Okay,
So we can send it.
thank you.
Yeah, if I may, my concern, right, I know right now kind of the ball's in the town's court, sort of, but my concern is we've asked, the town is paying for the memberships of both chambers. So I want to show them a return on the investment there, as a group here. So we need the help to be able to get us in front of them and then show them that, yeah, it's being effective, our dollars are being put to promote the
Good
businesses
use,
in the town and this part of the county.
I agree.
But I think we've discussed that enough, but unless there's any other comment, just get back to us.
I will. I'll send
All right.
an email to the whole committee.
Thank
So
you.
everybody's informed, before we stand with the selection.
Thank you, Willie.
Just make sure everybody got their say. Any additional comment regarding that, or? All right, thank you. The FPL Main Street Credit Program and the Hurricane Claims Webinar, this was in there. Our meeting we didn't have the meeting last month, but I just wanted to, I think it went well. Steve, thank you. Audrey Polo also was very, it was a good presentation. I think I just wanted to kind of thank Steve for putting FPL together with us, and Audrey, whoever reached out to her and getting that done. And I just wish we had more of them right now. And there's another item regarding that, but
Mr. Chairman,
we'll discuss
just
that.
to give the committee feedback, FPL reached out to me and they were very pleased to participate. I just like to make a comment or put it out to the committee. I really think we should really tap into the resources of the other professional organizations in the town of Miami Lakes. We started with the Miami Lakes Bar Association. We got Ms. Polo's firm in there. I've suggested a couple other attorneys that I know professionally. I think we should all reach out and really try and get this thing on a regular basis with different subject matter experts. It's an in-town resource. I think they're willing to do it. Frankly, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't done more or have a schedule. So again, I will redouble my own efforts to reach out to the individual attorneys that I know. But I think besides the attorneys, CPA, somebody in wealth management, insurance, subject matter that the business people and the residents of the town would find appropriate.
You're right.
An added value of what we're doing. We're bringing this kind of information out. It's also very good publicity for the professionals doing it. So
Yep. I second that.
I just wanted to throw that out.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Any other discussion regarding that webinar we put on? All right, thank you. Moving on. Old business, number E, the welcome packet. We need to review. There's a copy in everybody's package. This is what has been put together. So remember the folder that we had approved? Yeah, so this would be inserted in there, possibly with additional information. So it'll be professionally done. This is just a kind of a proof, but this is what it's going to look like. And Willie, we need to approve this if it's acceptable, or suggest changes so we can move on and get this printed.
Yes, sir. We need approval to proceed. And like the chairman mentioned, it's going to be part of the welcome package. A professionally binded brochure. I know right here you're seeing copies, but it doesn't do it justice. You see it professionally done. And that's going to go along with the folders that the committee has pre-approved already, for the town information and committee. And along with other needed information as we go in. So once the concept is, once this new business come on board, we have something to give them. Show them what the town's about and resources. Especially now that we're working closely with the chamber, that we're building that relationship. We're going to hit them twice, a 1-2 punch. So now you guys come in along with the chamber, and now we're going to continue to make that progress that we need to make. We have the brand here, guys. We have a very special brand here, a very special brand, and people want to be here. Let's get the information out.
It looks, this is 14 pages. I mean, there's a lot of photos.
Really good.
It looks good to me.
Mr. Chair, I move approval. This committee approved this document that's placed in front of us. It's very colorful, it's very informative, and it's easy to read. And I'd just like to congratulate the staff and Willie and Brandon and those individuals who have worked to create this document. It's really going to be nice, and when it's professionally printed up, it's something I think the Economic Development Committee can be very proud of, and then most of all, it's going to be very helpful to the businesses who are here and those prospective businesses that are considering moving, because there's a lot of movement going on in business throughout Dade County now, and
Everywhere.
and so Miami Lake is a great place for people to consider relocating to. So, and I think also we can use this same document here once it's complete when we go to the Greater Miami Chamber meetings. We take some with us, and hey, this is the town of Miami Lake. That brands us, that gets our name out there. And again, it's just very helpful to, I think, any business who's interested in relocating, or just about the town of Miami Lakes. So this is a great place. I always said Miami Lakes is one of the best kept secrets. And we just need to continue to get our name out there and what we're doing here to advance business opportunities. So, thank you, sir. That's my motion.
Thank you, Neil.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I'll third.
So we have a motion by Neil, a second by John. Is there any discussion any further discussion regarding this motion? I like to add that I agree. I like our logo. It looks good.
The logo
This
is
could be
great.
used on many events. So
It's very complete.
that's my only comment regarding that. I'm glad we're here now. Any further discussion regarding this motion that's on the floor? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last item on old business is the mission statement, update recommendations. This has been sitting in old business. I know we had a few of our members that were going to revisit that, possibly make recommendations. I'm assuming you haven't received anything if I haven't seen anything in the package.
I think somebody
I'm sorry,
did.
John asked me for what John and Mark submitted two
Okay.
ideas. And I apologize, John asked me to forward today, I don't think it was forwarded, so there's two pending.
Okay.
And they're both great. John, do you have yours available there?
Well, I have mine and Mark's is someplace.
It's an
Has
email.
Mark's.
An email.
Yeah.
Got Mark?
Romy was gonna work on it.
Yeah, and Romy was the other one.
Yeah, she was going to do it also, but we haven't seen her in
Correct.
some time. I can read mine back, and then if you can find Mark's, we'll get Mark's. So,
Mark, do you have yours, man?
yeah, because the idea was we were going to try and get rid of the taxation.
The commercial
To
tax
improve the
issue.
horrible taxation. I think that, how that got in there, I have no idea. It's a mystery, but, so, anyway, here's a couple of things. The Economic Development Committee assists in the formation of a well-rounded business climate, uniting both present and future establishments to provide both a commercial and financial base for the continued prosperity of the town. I can read that back if anybody wants. And the other one I put down was a little bit different. The Economic Development Committee assists in development of a well-rounded business climate to help build the town's financial and commercial base through aggressive recruitment of new businesses.
That's the old one. That's the old. Is that the old?
No.
No.
Those are my two suggestions. Okay. And the old one is.
The old one is it's in your agenda at the bottom.
It's at the bottom.
It's at the
here.
bottom of your agenda. That's what we have right now.
That's what we have right now, so,
It's at the bottom of your agenda.
yeah. So we got rid of the tax base.
tax
and we
base.
kept the-
I'd just like to add, I think if you say recruit and retain businesses
Yeah.
that are here, because we want new businesses to come in, but we also want to retain the ones that are
Retain them,
here.
yes.
So I think we need to just insert that there somewhere. And
Go ahead.
So, and then mine was the Economic Development Committee assists the town of Miami-Lakes in the development of a well-rounded business climate that promotes retaining existing businesses and attracting new businesses and developers in order to maintain an ever-growing professional environment. So that's, in order to maintain an ever-growing, and developers in order to maintain an ever-growing professional environment.
I just have a question about regarding developers.
Yeah, well, that was one of those things where I wasn't really sure how wide the word businesses would be, but we can remove that word totally. I just threw it in there just to include a little bit more people, but if I'm okay removing it without a problem.
No, I see where that, and I don't disagree with it. For me, developers coming from my industry, it's more of,
Yeah,
let's develop a tract of land
Yeah.
and build houses or warehouses, and we don't have a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 The last of the cows.
Just a handful of parcels.
So,
So I like your number one. I kind of like Mark's piece here. I mean, yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
absolutely.
we merged the two. Well, I'll read.
Chairman, let's take both pieces, share with the whole committee. And,
Why don't you send an email with the two? You know, my first one and
Yeah.
Mark's, All right, send the email out and then we can look at that and then get back.
Yeah,
And-
what I'll do is I could set it as an agenda item for next meeting with an attachment that has 2 or 3. And then we'll pick A, B, or C. But at that point,
Or even,
any recommendation to changes, send them back to Willie, we can tweak them.
Right.
So we're not doing that in the next meeting.
So
Is that a good way to go?
That's a very good point, Chairman. So let's take the 2 that we have working right now, mesh it, combine it, each of you guys might have a different version of it.
Mhm.
Send them back to me, and then, the chairman can add it to the agenda.
I'll add it as an approval item. You know, to,
And then we'll submit it to administration for their approval.
do you want to, should we submit it to the administration prior to us voting on it to make sure it looks okay? All 3 look okay or acceptable?
I can share with, our town attorney
Yeah.
and then.
Yeah, I don't think our language on any of these is going to be
Yeah.
conflictive, but just maybe go through there first. All 3 are good, go vote.
Yeah. It may be more than 3, because if everybody
Oh.
has a piece that went mesh,
Yeah.
the 2, it might be different, so.
And that would eliminate possibly seeing it again in the future. If we have to go back to them and they have, a letter they got to change or something. If that would,
I think that's a good plan.
so we
So
need to do
let's mesh, let's put together as organized ideas, and then, I'll receive them, have our town attorney take a look at it, make sure it sounds good, and town officials, and then I'll send it to the chairman for the agenda.
okay,
I
so,
was just gonna ask Willie, when you receive them and you send them out to us, for us to take a look at them, also just notify whoever else is pending to submit one, that if they wanna submit one, that now will be the time for us to review it, so that by next week, by next meeting, we got it completed and done and ironed out.
So let's put a hard deadline for maybe end of, next week, that way it's a week administration to work on it, and by the next, maybe 3 weeks, I can have it to the chairman for his agenda. I like that, so anybody who has submitted their,
Yeah, if there was anybody-
We need to do this in the way of a motion, correct?
Make sure that we give them the deadline to submit it by then, so that, come next meeting, this is a viewpoint.
okay, so we need to do this in the way of a motion to make sure that it goes in the minutes correctly.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and motion that we request any pending recommendation for the mission statement to be submitted in advance to Willie, so that by the next meeting, we can take the recommendation and put it to a vote.
I'll second it.
Okay, John, you've got the,
All right, you're gonna, Jose, you have the motion,
Yes.
second is Neil?
correct.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we have the motion correctly.
Well, the motion is to send these to Willie, basically, and then we'll, and then we
Any
can,
member of the committee that hasn't already
yes,
sent their recommendation, if they have a
Right.
pending recommendation they want to send, to please do that in advance of the next meeting.
so to read correctly, I'm going to send out Mark's and your statement.
right, okay.
And within that email, your request, as Jose mentioned, if anybody is pending to submit their recommendation, please do so. And then you guys, yes, and you guys can mention them all together. If I get those, I'll send those on a separate email.
Right, obviously, if you get any responses back, you send those back to us, and then however many we end up, 2, 3, 4, and then we can pick from there and then just finalize.
Okay, so we don't have to amend anymore. So we're good with the way that Jose just
Yeah,
explained
well,
it?
well, we have 2, we have 4, all right? And now we're gonna ask the other people to come on if they would like to submit, their own.
Willie had mentioned that there were some people that were pending, that were going through. some-
Robbie's the one that I know for sure, right? That you said that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like 3 months ago, so I don't know how that's gonna,
We're just gonna give them the opportunity
Yeah.
to, if they choose.
oh, yeah, I'll put it in there for sure.
Whoever we have.
Okay.
So we have the motion. Jose, Neil, you're good with the way it was discussed as a second?
Yes.
Okay. Any additional discussion regarding the motion? Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Moving on to new business. It's, I put in there the new business grand openings. We do get, is everyone getting emails regarding when we have a ribbon cutting?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, I've been attending a few of them whenever possible. I suggest that, if we could get some of us to have show support. The businesses appreciate it. We went to one last week, and it was a, nice event. It's a company, title company that moved from Coral Gables to Miami Lakes. They actually live here in, I believe it's, Iconic, yeah. They live in the town, so now they're here full time, and it's a small events but good, and it's appreciated to get the word out. So anybody that can attend, I encourage that.
There's,
Thursday, 22nd, from 5:30 to 6 p.m. It's a ribbon cutting or it's a lawn and spa.
Correct. I saw that today. And then I suggest that whoever's there, I mean, Mr. Sosa's there, the mayor's assistant there, and just follow their instructions. When I've introduced them before, the mayor, the company that's being honored that day. So just to make sure that, they kind of will tell us if they need our assistance. If not, we're just there to represent the town, our economic development committee, and move from there. Anything you want to add to that, Willie?
I just want to say that as soon as I receive them from the mayor's office, they're being forwarded to both the economic development and also the chamber at the same time.
So
We're trying to work together on all these projects.
Yep.
So when we go to these businesses, they see us working together as we are right now. That's a benefit to everybody. So I appreciate, I know George has been out there, and we appreciate you.
And one last note, and there's, when we go to these, there's other businesses from the town and friends that are there. So it's almost like going to a chamber event. So you're there, you're kind of, they're networking with each other, and there's always discussion what the town does, other committees. So it's a good way to stay in touch with our neighbors, pretty much. So I just wanted to send that out there. Is there any additional discussion regarding that? Anything that we want to add? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to B. And this, we discussed a little bit of this in old business when we talked about the FPL. Steve mentioned it. I've tried to reach out to people. Steve's been very successful. But I encourage and ask everyone to please, if you know someone that we believe can add something of value for our businesses, even our residents, on one of these webinars, please reach out, coordinate it through Willie. And I'd like to get a few of these, like one every other month if we could. I know last year was a good year for that, but that's because we had a few that were done through Bank United sponsorship. But we want to keep those going. I think we're very good, and we just need everybody's help to get them done. And set them up. Any discussion regarding that? Right, hearing none, we'll go to a new business, which is local intel, the analytics report. It's also in your package. This came out probably at this point 6-8 weeks ago, maybe a little longer. But to me, it showed good movement. Again, one of these where we have an investment, want to make sure that our dollars are being spent in the best possible way. So I think Brandon had more to say about this, but I'm not sure if you want to fill us in a little bit on what we're seeing. And
What the report shows that the tool is working, members and chairman. We had a conversation with CEO, Dave, and he was taken back how well the tool is working for us. Now, it's a testament to Claire Soul and Brandon. The marketing campaign that was launched along with them is pushing traffic to the website. So it's just an amazing response. They were taking back the owner of the company, how much it is, and how long they were staying on our site. It's not just coming to our site, but they were staying and coming back, grabbing more information. So the tool is working. We're one of the few cities here that has this tool, and I think that's very fortunate to have it, and we're going to keep pushing it in social media and so forth. But it's working. So this is one of those things that is proving the investment.
for me, one of the things that I like the most is pages 3 and 4. If I read it correctly, you have by country and region. So we have Puerto Rico, Canada, and then on page 4, we're looking at Florida, but Utah, Illinois, Quebec, Texas. So we're getting views from out of state, which is important for people that want to move into the best town in Miami-Dade County. So I think we're getting, it's getting traction.
There's three states there that are having that movement away from their respective states. In California, it's one of those states that there's a mass exodus business. So it shows that they're viewing our our site.
Do anybody want to add anything to this local intel report? Any comments?
My comment would be, Mr. Chair, is really capturing a lot of information about what we're doing in the town and how we are reaching out and sharing information about, for instance, I've noticed here, like on the desktop, we have 56 visitors, over 311 activities, and the action that was taken, and the bounce rate is 50%. That's really very good. And then we're showing whether the smartphones, 38 visit by smartphones and 72 active. I think this is really, this represents a lot of good things that are happening here with the Economic Development Committee and with the town specifically. So I just want to say, I just like what it says. And again, it's capturing a lot of very important information that most of us didn't know, but now we see it and we can build on this. And that's what it's about, I think. When you get this kind of really important information, you're able to build on it. So again, thank you all. And we need to thank Brandon and Willie for pulling this off, because this is really, we've never had this tool before. And that just goes to show, you can do things, something new and innovative, and capture a lot of information that helps us make informed decisions for the future. And that's what we're all about. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Charles.
It's very low. It's low. The attendance is low on the side. 0 to 1, 10 seconds is 60%. If you go to the next 2 pages down,
What page is that, please?
length of visits,
Of the,
only 22 more than 1 and 2 minutes. How long was this tabulated?
so we,
Page 9 of 11.
so you're,
How long of a period of time do you have this information for? But I think that would be a Brandon question.
Huh?
Well, the first page says, it's a 3-month period, January 1st to the 30th.
For a month.
For the month,
3 months, 3 months,
3 months.
3 months.
so we had 97.
Now, there's people spending 10 minutes on the website, I don't know if I misheard you. Guys, it was 10 minutes. The 61 bureaus spent approximately 10 minutes on our website.
But it shows 0 in this report,
I think that's
0 to 10.
10 seconds.
10 minutes.
Right,
0 to 10 seconds is 61 visits.
right.
And then if you go to the 10 to 15 minutes, it's 0. It's 11 more than 1 to 2 minutes. And that for that long period of time is really low. So we're not reaching who we're supposed to be reaching.
So if we're reading this correctly, we have 10 hits that spent more than 10 minutes. Or more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, 10 visits.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. Is this website, has it been the first 3 months in operation? Or has it been going on for a lot longer than 3 months, Willie? This is,
The tool was launched, I believe, once we had all the data up.
yeah, the final,
Yeah, because those data. had to be
right,
uploaded.
right. 3 months, right?
Yeah,
So this is the first phase of it.
yes.
Hey, let's give it a shot. Let's give it some time. Let's put the word out.
For 3 months. of-
Yeah, it's only 3 months worth of data,
Now,
initial data.
one thing, I can't answer that question, but there's links in this to other resources.
Yes, so.
So once you touch that link, you're gone from local intel. You might be in the building department or somewhere else,
All properties are available in town.
or at the property,
Schools,
property
business,
appraiser or something.
housing. There's so many elements there.
Exactly.
This is a turnkey operation that a prospective company can see the whole town from a distance. Our school ratings, everything.
Hey, look at the last page. That'll tell you,
Yeah.
the last page.
Everybody is.
But back to Mr. Bremel's comment, I mean, it's gotta develop, we have to give it some time
We gotta see.
to further develop.
If this is the first quarter that it was in operation, compared to if we were building into second and third and so on, to see if it's, we had.
Hopefully the numbers will grow as we grow. Yeah.
We had 89 people visit the site over a 90-day period, roughly. We'll be able to see next, in the second quarter of it being
$10,000.
effective. If more people visited, and then we'll get an idea. And again, you might want to find out from Willie or whoever is programming, if once they click on the link to the building department, if once they click on the link to any one of those, if they fall into this 1 to 10 second category. Okay, maybe they moved on to another site that's linked from here, and it doesn't count them, even though it's still,
It's not timing it.
right, they're not timing. And that could be, I'm not computer savvy, it would take me a lot more than 10 seconds to find the following link, but
Yeah.
I'm sure some people can find it in less than 10 seconds and they can move on, and that might be the reason for, such a large percentage being only there 10 seconds.
And just as a quick follow-up to that, to Mr. Llano's comments, again, you mentioned, Mr. Blanco, the last page, right? So if you look at the last page, if I'm reading this correctly, there was activity to look at the business climate, correct? Industry, workforce. So I think we need to really, maybe look at the activity, time, and usage within a more broader timeline picture. This is just first shot, 3 months of activity.
Yes, sir. And one thing we may be able to add, Chairman, is have the gentleman, the company, maybe zoom in, if that's possible, I'll look into, see if he can zoom in. They were taking back the conversation I had with them, they were taking back how well the site was working for our town. It's not to sell us another tool or anything, it's just the numbers, when they shared it was, they look, this is very impressive, the first, 3 months. So.
Well, let's,
And people returning to the site, you see the graphics of the return visits. So that's important to know as well.
what I would ask is, seeing that Q2 is already in the books, so we have something to compare, 1 and 2. If maybe you guys can produce that, send it out, and we can have further discussion next month
Yes, sir.
to see how just to track the progress. But I agree, it's still very, very early in its launch. Any further discussion regarding the local intel report? All right, hearing none, we'll move to letter D on the new business with networking events. There's been, the Miami Lakes Chamber has, at least I'm on their mailing list now. There's been 2 lunches. I was able to attend one. It was at capacity. I thought it was a good event.
It's another one tomorrow.
There's one tomorrow as well.
Very good.
Correct?
Yes, tomorrow we have one tomorrow.
And I believe there's one coming up September, Willie. Can you talk to us about that if it's okay? At Shell's?
September is going to be our first in-person networking event. We've asked the chamber to join us, and we've had some very early on conversations with the Greater Chamber of Miami to see if they want to come on board as well. It's a third element to this. It's going to be at Chelis. We already made the arrangements with Chelis here. And I think it's a good spot. It's outdoors, very friendly. So that's where we're at. So our first event's going to be September. believe 25th.
I believe I have the 15th. I could
The
be wrong.
15th? Yeah.
That's the date that I had here, but I could be wrong.
So it's the 15th, yes, on a
I
Wednesday.
believe it was from 5:30 to 7:30 was the information that I took down.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
But there'll be communication going on.
Yeah, we'll put together the event flyer, the promotions, and be shared with the committee.
Yeah, if memory serves me right, last one we did was pre-COVID.
Yes, sir.
It was standing room only.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, literally to the point where it was spilling out to the parking lot. So
Yes, sir.
my intuition tells me there's a lot of pent up demand for this. So
Yep.
I'm hoping the space will be sufficient to,
There's, when we've been with Chella's, there's a footprint inside that we can bleed into if we have to. The primary, setup is gonna be outside, and with the sound system, now we have a sound system, that we're gonna have out there, the podium. It's gonna be a little bit, at that point, when we had the last event, it was very difficult to hear people in there. So, yeah, we'll be very prepared now. And like I said, we bring the third element, which is the rear chamber, where all the talking heads are gonna be together. So I think it'll be a very positive day for the town. And again, the conversation I have with the rear chamber is that not every business is trying to fit in Miami Lakes, but let's work together because they might receive a business that fits us, or vice versa. We might receive an inquiry that might fit City of Miami. So we need to work together and have these exchanges. So I'm excited. I know everybody here is excited to be working together with all three chambers.
I think it's a move in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing that take off. Regarding networking events, and want to add anything to that,
I just want to add,
Jose?
you guys need sponsorship or anything like that for those type of networking events, or how do you guys structure the cost of it?
So we have some money allocated from the committee, but yes, sponsorship is welcome. And if there's any interested party who wants to sponsor the event, we'll welcome that. You could direct it to myself.
If I can add, it's a lot easier to create an event with a sponsor than one without a sponsor. So we'll find a place in a location, and we have, someone that wants to promote something, because like Steve, I believe you said it, there's pent up demand probably to get back in front of people and network.
So the ones we did last times were all in kind. We depended on the restaurant or locations to help us out. They were providing the appetizers, and then the guests would buy the drinks, or the refreshments. But if we could go and have a more formal and have funding, the event we went to.
Is that the arrangement that we currently have with Chella's for that day?
Chella's, we discussed in kind, some of that in kind, and then we have some budget that the committee has set aside. So we haven't decided yet for the menu, but yes, that will enhance the menu. If that sponsor comes on board, we can enhance it, make it better. And maybe just make it turnkey for everybody. Maybe there's no cost for everybody. The thing is to engage people and bring them in, show what we're about, have those conversations. So, we provide that, if we provide that type of draw, I think we'll draw more people. And sense it to be.
I'll reach out to you.
that's something we've done in the past, is had some drawings as well. So that's where sponsorship can be very, very helpful to these kind of events. So
I was thinking of having, I don't want to call it, whatever I call it, but I call it anyways, like a drink sponsor. So like if Chella's already agreed to do an in-kind for the advertising, and we can get a sponsor to say, okay, listen, the first 150 people who register for the event, their first drink is on this sponsor, and they'll cover the cost and just get an anticipated cost from Chella's, and maybe that's something that we can do to just even attract more people to go to the event.
I like what you've been doing.
Yeah, I like that
Thank you,
idea.
sir. We had
I
actually,
didn't want to word it like that.
but no, but that's, those people, too. The advertisers were provided by Mr. Robinson's company,
Right.
to give you an idea, so, yeah, we can be creative like that.
And you can give that sponsor a few minutes on the podium if they want to.
and then it
Great idea.
also encourages the business to say, well, it's very important for me to have the network here at my business, so that the next time when Willie has to go out and look for another location, they can see the added
To spread it around.
event that it has for them, you know.
That'll draw
They have
more sponsors.
Every,
Future events.
exactly.
Right.
That's a very good point, Neil. And I will tell you, the three events that we did, when we started going in-kind portion, the restaurants were taken back and the business were bringing it in. Gaziano's was the first one. Gaziano's was, I remember having a conversation after myself and Brandon, when he goes, man, you guys delivered. Because we had 200 people there, they were buying drinks, right? Everybody does the little snacks, but that was a big day for them. And people found the business as well. Same thing happened with the bike tour, which hopefully we can get it back going again. And he was there alongside with me in the bike tour. Some people didn't realize the restaurants were in town. And that was another amazing event that we need to start, brainstorming. But yeah, definitely agree.
So similar to the working with organizations, networking events, great ideas like that. Everybody's ideas are encouraged and welcome and needed. So we can get this year wrapped up in a good way.
Just one comment, Neil mentioned the new restaurant in town, the Brazilian churrascaria. I think
Crusaders, excellent.
our whole goal in this committee was to get the new restaurants. And we did the Argentine and we did all the others, but I think we should try and get them. I'd be happy to call them anyway and get the name of the person to, at least for the next go round.
A challenge.
Every quarter, we were doing 3 months apart, yeah. But yeah, so the September, we're looking at sometime December, right? November, yeah.
Just move it into November, because December is tough.
Yeah.
In November, okay, I'll put it in November then. Hopefully they'll be okay.
And Neil's right, the purpose of these is to highlight the business, right? So,
Business, that Economic Development Committee is bringing business opportunity to those businesses that we are going to be having our network event. It's a win-win for them as well as for us, because people are going to spend money that ordinarily may not even know that this particular business is there, but once they come and see it and enjoy the ambiance as well as some of the appetizers that they have, and then like Jose said, we need to also be reaching out to sponsors, because again, that's another inducement for the business to be receptive to us coming and bringing the network event to them.
We are putting together a business expo for November in the chamber, okay? We're working on the locations now where we're scanning the different places.
Yep.
So after the board meeting tomorrow, we'll have a board meeting after the luncheon, and then we'll be able to have maybe a more definitely placed.
That's
But we
correct.
have 4 or 5 different options that we want to do. So everybody, is trying to work on getting things going.
Right.
Or at least coordinated.
All coordinated, yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying the same day, obviously, we're not gonna have the same day, but even if you have them too close to each other, it could affect
Mhm.
people choosing to go to one event or the other instead of trying to
Yeah.
spread them out a little more.
yeah, and that's what we need to plan on. And if ours is first, we promote the expo. So we'll have the audience there. So yeah, definitely.
So we'll coordinate, so nobody, has to choose to go to one or the other.
And even not choose the same day, but even if you're doing them the same week,
Right.
a lot of people won't be able to get out to different events.
Absolutely.
We'll try to spread them out as much as possible so that there's more opportunity for them.
Exactly.
They don't have to choose.
Then it's only 3 weeks because we had Thanksgiving the last
Right.
week, so.
Correct, the last week of Thanksgiving.
We gotta coordinate well.
Yeah, or the first week of December for something
Or
else.
the first week of December.
What day your event is gonna be.
It's probably gonna be towards the beginning of November.
You could do a holiday event, like a Christmas, many people do that.
Before, yeah.
Or they
before
get
it's
out
on.
of before school gets out, early December. I mean,
Mhm.
so many things.
Okay, well, we have time to coordinate.
It is, no, it usually is. No, it usually is.
right, trying to move on as I promised that we'd be finished on time.
At 6:30?
No, we're a little past that. Anything else
6:41.
regarding our networking events? Okay, so we had good discussion there. Moving on, I had added the mayor's charity gala to the agenda under the additions. And that's on September 25th at 7:30 to benefit the Special Needs Advisory Board. We have, Willie, you had a message for us regarding this. I think we need some sponsors.
Yeah, so the mayor's office asked us to work with them. Any sponsors might be interested in sponsoring a table at the event. Please direct those interested parties to the mayor's office, to Joseph Sosa. He's the one coordinating the event. We're supporting him as far as administration here.
I was gonna ask, is there an informational package regarding this function that you can share with us so that we can share with our contacts to try to get the information out there? Just directly people.
Sponsor package.
Share the sponsor package out on Joseph's behalf, and then they're just reaching out to you with the book. It might make it a little more feasible for you.
Yeah, if they come prepared.
Right.
Yeah,
I have to bring Jose on board.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Thank you, Jose.
I believe the tickets are on sale. They've been out there for a couple days already.
It's going to be at Roberto Alonso Community Center.
Community Center.
It's an 89 seat. If anybody's attended in the past, the whole building is transformed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The company they use to put this on is just incredible. They just transformed that place. It looks like a Las Vegas.
Yes. Very elegant.
Really very well done. So, and all of us should try to attend. It's only $100 a person. So I'm gonna go again this year. Lord spare me.
Mr. Brimo, you had.
I just want to say if Mr. Robinson is going, I'd like to see him in his 80s outfit. And I would definitely love to
$100
attend.
right there.
It's worth $100 right there.
I think it is. Yeah.
Any discussion? I believe there's a meeting in this chamber in a little bit, so we, we don't have any announcements?
Yes, I'd like to make one,
Okay.
Mr. Chair. My committee is called the Cultural Affairs Committee, and on August the 14th, for the 17th year, we will be hosting Symphony of the Americas.
Fantastic.
At the Methodist Church. And I believe it's at 7 p.m. and it's a Saturday. If you want to hear some incredible international musicians from Austria, Italy, they're all international classically trained musicians. And they form something called Symphony of the Americas. And they performed the night before up in West Palm Beach. And they charge $75 a ticket. Come to us at a super reduced rate. And it's just an incredible evening. And they will probably, I would say, can attend music selections and have a maestro conductor. And it is incredible musicians. It's all classical. So we do this in 17 years. So I do please grant it's free. That's again August 14th. At 7 p.m. to Saturday. And it's just a great opportunity. Finally, Mr. Chair, I want to also take this opportunity to congratulate our liaison, Mr. Willie Sanchez, who has been promoted to manager for Parks and Recreation, which is his, he's been doing it for many, many years with the city of Hialeah. Now he's being promoted to the manager of the Parks and Rec system. However, the manager has mandated that he continues to be our liaison for economic development. So we're just so proud of you, Willie, and wish you well, man.
Thank you, it was a pleasure. It's great to be working with my hometown, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I couldn't leave you guys. So,
No rain.
I consider ourselves lucky that you were able to keep us as your only committee that you're.
You
working
should be, because he was my liaison for cultural affairs, but he's no longer there, so. Great, though, Willie, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and so, do I hear a motion to adjourn if I don't think there's further business?
Motion.
Sure. Yeah, one last quick question. Is that done through Eventbrite as far as tickets or how do we? Okay.
November, yes, sir.
August
They're
14th.
coming.
Yes, at the Methodist Church.
I try to go.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful event.
Did we have it last year with COVID?
No, not last year.
Yeah.
The one before. Okay. John?
Right, so we have, Jose and Magali.
What time is it? 6:45?
6:48.
7.
6:48.
Exactly now. Everyone, have a safe ride home.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. The microphone.
See, Children's Trust, don't forget, Children's Trust. That's Kevin, you know. Kevin Single, yeah. I have to get all my papers together here. All my papers. It's a soap opera. Yeah, you take care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Don't forget the Magali.